center of zone where they can have that more, maybe less congested side of zone, and that is the position they want to be in. And I think that's really an interesting thing to look at because they've developed their strategy, they've developed their rotation, and this is sort of the difference that we can see. But with all that being said, we're going to toss it back to Zeke, who has another content piece for us.
Thank you, guys. You're so incredible. Love you guys so much. All right, have you ever wondered how pros prepare themselves on the day, going into finals, how they get their minds in the right headspace? Well, check this out. This is Game Day Rituals.
Best way to start a tournament: sleep late, wake up, shower, steak and chips, energy drink ready to go.
So before a tournament, I don't want to get burned out. So most of the times I'm just going 30 minutes before maybe. I'm free building, doing some edit maps and A maps, and that's it.
For the first game, I normally get on early, warm up. I play 200 pumps.
I think the best thing to do is just keep your daily routines instead of putting a lot of pressure on yourself on the day, thinking you have to overperform or overdo anything.
Before I start playing, obviously I put on my sleeve. It helps me with the emotions on the mousepad. I feel better when I have it on, but I will still destroy it without it.
I make sure, especially when I'm playing a big tournament like FNCS, then I need to get 9 to 10 hours sleep in.
People underlook sleep because we're thinking with our brain all game. We're doing all of that, we need that sleep.
If it's before a big tournament, I'll definitely get as much sleep as I need to. I won't set an alarm.
I play much better if I know I've slept well.
It helps me psychologically because I know that I'm doing everything that I can to be the best.
Also go for walks and runs sometimes.
Since I started working out, I've been feeling much better and more prepared for tournaments.
Going out is very important for vitamin D and also having fresh air.
If you're just triggered or you're just angry or you're just tired, I swear, just have a cold shower, bro.
Stay off Twitter for the 30 minutes coming up to the tournament, and I also do push-ups before every tournament just because it gets the blood flowing.
You just gotta try and relax a bit. Just think, it doesn't matter, don't think about it too much.
I think pressure goes
hello, mic check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
And number 2, how much you prep. But if you're prepped, you've done everything you need to, you've tried the best pre-hand, so all you can do is play.
For handling pressure, I think it comes with experience, but also not having high expectations at all goes the best. My main goal that I have is to qualify for Grands and not care how I do in Grands. And whenever that happened, I did good in it, so.
I don't feel pressure, especially when I've put in so much hours into the game. I know that I'm doing all I can to be the best.
Once you get used to it, you practice a lot, you play a lot of tournaments, a lot of finals, the pressure won't hit you as hard. Just gotta have ice in your veins.
There you go. Game Day Rituals. Once again, thanks to all the players who came out for Media Day. We truly appreciate that. But we only have a few more minutes here, so let's go ahead, bring our casters in, because we got to talk predictions. Shy Wager, 11-2K. Oh, my gosh. Some of my favorite human beings ever walk on the Okay, guys, we have about 3 minutes here. Let's talk through our predictions. Which duos we think could walk away champions at the end of it all. Let's go ahead and see this graphic together. So, I'm going to be good guy Zeke here for a minute. Okay, just for one moment.
Okay.
Hen and Queasy, all right, reigning FNCS champions. They did give us a little bit of a scare, right? They did qualify out of semifinals, which is, I don't want to say uncharacteristic, but maybe a little bit. And I think it's kind of put them in a place where they're saying, look, we need to take this a little more seriously. Now we're going into finals. We need to take it up a notch. What do you got?
I mean, it is uncharacteristic. Last time, they qualified, qualifier #1, winning it, and then they won the FNCS as well. So, I don't know if that says anything about their gameplay right now, but I'm a kind of trend. I follow the trends myself. Not entirely sure.
Look, they're a team that's had to deal with so many adjustments. The struggles that they had were understandable. I don't think people should use that as a reason to maybe go, this isn't a team capable of winning FNCS. They are still a top quality duo.
That's right, that's right. Minnie, who do you have?
I have Tayson and Chapix. Now, me and Reese have disagreed on a few of our predictions. Not today, though. I've made the right decision, and we've gone for the same prediction. And I think we're just talking about two experienced players. They've done it. They've both done it together, of course, as well, in Grand Royale. They've won this sort of event before. They've done it. They've been in the position. And I think on the west side of Collider, there's absolutely no reason for them not to win today.
Yeah, also at the same time, you got to think, when it comes to finals, it doesn't matter how bad Tayson or Chapix's seasons have been. Outside last season for Chapix, on that one. But Tayson in particular, it doesn't matter how bad the season's been, they perform when it matters in finals.
They do.
Okay, but when it matters, right? When it really matters, when it's, deep into end games. Things are really intense. You know, you need to find eliminations. You need to have a pop-off. Who better than Malibuka Mustache? Like, I can't think of a team. If somebody here can name a team that has better pop-off potential, I will give you $1 million V-Bucks right now.
No. Hey, you're right. You're right.
There's none. Let's actually, I've been saving this for a little bit.
Okay.
I'm the prop man sometimes, right? Let's go to Shio Land. I'm gonna put on my rose-tinted glasses here. Okay, real quick. I'm gonna show you guys if I get these undone.
Okay.
What I'm looking at: rose-colored fields, consistency over 12 games. Seti and Cammy, my heroes, my duo. They're split, undefeated, kind of chopped in half right now, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm seeing pink, and I'm liking it.
You know what? Cammy and Seti are a brilliant duo when they don't have to get eliminations. So, outside of that...
And off spawn, they're going to have some problems today, potentially. You know, you might be taking those glasses off a lot quicker than you might...
I'm hoisting them up.
I don't know about that. They're not
it's hoisted.
They'll be falling off very soon.
If we see any questionable calls from Shio, it's just because he can't see.
Is it a green bump, a red one? I'm not even...
No.
There you go, guys. It is almost that time. We're getting ready to jump off the battle bus and kick off the competition here from EU. This is the final. 6 games today, another tomorrow, and then we're crowning champions. It's that time. This is game 1 of the FNCS.
It's here. It's time. 3 qualifiers, 3 days of semis, and now 2 days of finals. What better reason to start off with than Levin EU?
Honestly, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. The favorite time for everybody that watches Fortnite in a season.
Game 1, let's go, boy.
The top players in the land to finally battle it out against each other.
Yeah, let's talk about some of those top players, some of the stories we have rolling in today. You mentioned Mustache and Malibuka. Why are they so good? Why should we focus on them?
I think the big thing for me is just their fighting potential, right?
हम support करेंगे Benji Fiji को
guys. A lot of players who maybe aren't as experienced when it comes to getting storm surge.
Benji Fiji
guys, when it comes to dealing damage, that's their comfortability. That's where they feel most confident. And of course, an elimination-heavy format favors players that are really good at getting eliminations, and that's exactly what they are.
Yeah, they're the muscle. They're kind of like just the blood flow of the lobby. I'm looking at the consistency, the heartbeat even, Seti and Cammy. I think it should be around every single game. Might have some fluctuations, some palpitations, so to speak, but hopefully things are fine. Past that command cavern, you mentioned Mustache and Malibuka. I think every top team from EU from the past is here.
Honestly, right, when we talk about what we've seen season, non-stop fights at Command Cavern, and I'm sure as we head into this first game, we're going to be heading right into that once again. There's been so much action all over the map, but especially there, that's where the big dogs are really pounding it out.
Yeah, Greasy, Tilted, the Collider, new additions, old duos. It's all clashing.
Join the free demo session.
Chapter 3, Season 2. It's starting Game 1 of 12.
We're heading right into things. Players gliding. You gotta make sure you hit the first drop sweet, nice, no hiccups to begin with. But this is where things get intense. You can see here over towards this Tilted Towers area, we got some top teams, some teams I'm sure will be following plenty today. And here at Command Cavern, you're the same. Look at all those names, Shio Wager. I wouldn't be surprised if an FNCS winning duo came exactly from this spot. And Pink and that's a team that definitely will feel they deserve.
इसका नाम क्या है? Guild NS.
Top side, Malibuka Mustache at the blimp.
The entire landing for every team that's here, I think it's about 5 or 6 that are landing so far. They have to land like a perfect puzzle, Levin. One moment of kind of difference, one shot where, you know, one piece lays on top of the other, everything crumbles. There's a huge fight that starts.
Yeah, it's honestly, you know, a chess game between about 6 different teams, right? You can't overstep your boundary. You can't afford to step on someone's toes, right? That's where you can cause issues. This is something I'm happy to see right off the start. Game 1, a launch pad on the floor spawn is a brilliant, brilliant thing. But Malibuka Mustache will have to stay alive. You can see maybe some cheeky shots there, trying to get that storm surge damage dealt a bit early. But I love tap here and there. Won't be scary for anybody. What is scary though is save it down over here towards the Joneses. Yakpo having to fend for himself.
Yeah, this is where we're watching new experience build itself. For Yakpo, not really made an FNCS final so far. This is his first time kind of in this type of seat, whether it's driver or passenger. We have 12 games to tell. Over here at the Joneses, though, this fight should go on for a multitude of games, for a lot of time between just these two duos until maybe even some more come in through the fray.
Yeah, I think the big thing with this fight, right, is that there's some games we'll watch, it literally just finishes instantly. There's some games where it will drag out. This is a game where maybe they can afford for it to drag out. The zone is close by, and so there's not as much pressure there. But Yakpo in this situation is very, very tough. I'm sure there's been a lot of people who are fans of Savored, especially one of the bigger names in the scene. And so they'll be hoping Ayakpo can do a spectacular here and win things out.
Every time I watch a Joneses fight and one teammate's down, it's kind of like looking at a bucket of water with a hole in the bottom. You are reverse drowning, kind of. I don't know what the official term is. What I'm saying is you need to throw all the liquid you have at the duo you're fighting immediately. If you wait too long, you just get dragged out by constant pressure from a distance. Just rush at you immediately. Just making sure they're taking their time. Nice tosses up top of the minis. Mechanic we usually don't get to see the first-person POV of or used in the slow form type of battle. Jones, as Levin mentioned it, sometimes you're super fast. If you try things, you get defense from Yapko overall. But yeah, when you slow things down, that's where that bucket just loses all its liquid.
Yeah, that's really interesting, right? Because we didn't actually expect to see Rabbit and Fanayan landing over here towards the Jones' contestant, right? Many people thought it would be Blueback in theory. It's not obviously been them in this case. This time it's Fanayan winning it out there. They come in clutch in that moment, but we're right into some more action over towards Logjam. And another case of a fight maybe we didn't expect to see. That Flowis will be happy to be winning the crucial shots at the end. Teammate with backup as well. Noah Riley and Vidil. This is so interesting, Shayo. We expected to see Noah Riley and Vidil over towards Command Cavern, but no, they're here and they're going down early.
I was looking at the cavern for a sec, trying to get the full mosaic together. Some pieces were missing, some tiles, the color was looking kind of weird with how many people flying in. I did not expect this type of drop to change.
The story for Noah Riley and Vidil has been so all over the place, right? They were landing over towards the fortress. It had a bit of a nerve with the Collider coming in. They decided to leave. Many people argued that was a mistake. They decided to go to Command Cavern. Things are looking all right there, but still a bit stuck. Now, game one of the FNCS finals decided, nope, scrap both of those. We're going to head towards Logjam and contest Mappy and Flowis. That is just all over the place. And to go down in game one especially is now going to be huge for their emotions.
Yeah, think about Flowis and Mappy as well specifically. They were not expecting that. They were looking at, not saying, you know, Lumberyard is a sleeper POI. They were in rest mode, still in bed, getting ready to start their day immediately now. Have Surge, have everything ready to go. I'm very concerned to see exactly how Noah Riley and Vidil's day goes if that is the adjustment.
Look, if there's one team especially, or two teams especially, that won't be happy to see how that fight played out, it'll be Pink and that's Malibuka Mustache. If now
एक गेम ही कर रहा हूँ 12 गेम हो गए
tragic for those two teams.
इसके बाद देखते हैं कुछ करते हैं
of veterans versus rookies. Look at Yusri though. Doesn't matter if he's new on the block, he's doing so much damage with every shot. 1v2 with the auto shotty in hand. Endelex and X-Squeeze are down.
What a shot from Yusri. This guy has the potential to hit max when necessary, call him Maxi sometimes, and to take down some French titans in Anderlecht and X-Squeeze, two players who very much are considered favorites by some people to go all the way.
He was back against the wall as well. This man was in an Anderlecht X-Squeeze pinch. I've never seen someone survive that type of hold. It's like a python getting a hold of your entire body. Somehow you wriggle out and you slay the beast as well.
I'm really excited now. Just some of these early engagements we're seeing, things are looking a lot more fun than maybe we expected. Tayson and Chapix,
oh no,
not a team that I want to see getting an engagement, right? Very much a big favorite. The analysts, Reese and Mini, both have these guys as their potential winners for the whole thing. And understandably, two of the greatest Fortnite players we've ever seen, two players who are hungry to do better than how they did last season, and two players who has the potential to produce an FNCS winner.
This is one of the reasons for that. We saw the effect of the truck all the way over Akaman Cavern for the first half of the FNCS season. How much it can save you a lot of the shields that you need, just prep you up for the end game as well. They'll have access to that, access to the rotations, but need to make sure they're dealing that damage. For Hen and Queasy, I mean, I'm looking at the zone right now, Levin. Mini literally explained this bar for bar. Queasy's down, first of all. Past that as well, this is a south zone. Worst possible circumstance for this duo to start the day.
Yeah, this is very much uncharted territory for them. Early game at Sleepy Sound, Queasy's down, right? Usually Queasy's the insurance almost, right? He's the guy that you can trust to maybe stay composed, stay calm. Hence a phenomenal player, can lose his head at times. But for Queasy to be down in this situation, that is rough.
Must be some type of breakdown from their team landing all the way over at Sleepy.
I wonder if it wasn't Dre. The guys that land South Sleepy. If there was a fight that broke out here, I'm sure we'll get an update on that at some point, but very, very tough start for the Reign in FNCS.
अकेला अकेला
See exactly what Reese
Teammate
has
कहाँ है
for
इसका?
some of these off-spawn engagements. They've been insane. We need some help with this.
इसकी हेल्थ ही नहीं बढ़
Hello, thank you very much,
The
boys.
teammate भी है
We're
इसका
looking
कहीं
at
और
Cammy and Say right now in a classic position. But one of the
धर्मेश
most
मीणा
important
जी
things about them is they have never
Welcome
gone
भाई
down before the 4th zone. Not one game this season
बड़े
has
महीनों बाद
have they gone down. And that's due to
Yes
things
sir
like this.
बड़े महीनों
Great
बाद
positioning. They
ऐसे ही आए
understand
हम
that right now they're sitting
बोर हो
next
रहे
to
थे
Tilted. They can get easy tags on the
तो
players
बस
next to them. So
वॉच पार्टी
they're
करके
looking to
बैठ
set
गए
up, and if they go down before 4th zone, it's a new record. Back to you, boys.
Reese making a great point.
क्या
right?
हाल है
This is their
धर्मेश
bread and
भाई
butter. Sitting up here perched and tilted. I
कैसी
think
चल
the
रही है
big
जिंदगी
difference for them in this lobby is that usually they'll be accustomed to seeing more teams fighting it out at tilted, right? There'll be easier opportunities
मेरी
to
आवाज
do
आ रही है
damage
ना
there. But this time they might have to be a bit more patient and a bit more clinical when those opportunities arise. This is a fight though
नहला दिया
we
भाई
were
फ्लैश से
expecting to see. Flixie, Kiduo up against Ziandi and Joe, and a fight that many people, Shayo, expect to go heavily in the favor of Ziandi and Joe. Ziandi, one of the better off-spawn fighters in the land.
हाँ आवाज आ रही है और हालचाल बताओ क्या हाल है क्या कर रहे हो जिंदगी में
Really just
कैसी
forcing
चल रही है
Kiduo and
जिंदगी
Flixie down to desperation shots.
हमारे तो एल लगे हुए हैं
Ziani might just be one of the best, period, statistically, in the entire server. Off of spawn, Kidwell being one of the worst, but we've seen, just in terms of stakes, a lot of reversals, a lot of upsets already inside this early game. Synapse Station, in terms of Ziani and Joe, I feel like they've stamped this as home for them, especially in Qualifier 1.
Yeah, they've dominated in Qualifier 1, right? Off spawn. It wasn't up against Flixie and Kiduo, but again, just following along that trend of them being very prominent off spawn players. Synapse Station maybe isn't one of the flashiest POIs on the map, but they very much have access to some rifts, right, for rotation when needed to get further down into the middle of the map. And of course, in this game where the zone is pulling towards this side, they do have time to be a bit more patient with this fight.
Patience is the name of the game for some of the Command Cavern teams. Malibuca Mustache playing with the zone as much as possible, making sure the loadouts are spectacular. For Surge as well, I mean, that's one of the reasons a lot of people like to stay in the cavern for so long.
चार मछलियाँ लिए घूम रहा है
Staying in
बंदा
the cabin so long is that you can actually do it, right? In terms of there are so
पता ही
many
मछुआरा हो
kills
रहा
in.
है
I don't think there's ever been a POI, right, that's allowed you to stay in it for so long in Fauna. You can literally stay here for more than a couple minutes, right? And that's why you shouldn't panic if you see these teams still here. The big thing is though as well is that if you're deep late in storm and you have a way of getting in relatively quickly, you can pick your spot, right? You can choose to go and play the dead side of the zone. That's what a lot of these teams like to do. Pinkin and Nas especially like to do that, right? They like to stay, wait, make sure they have their surge and loot all patterned correctly, and then they like to choose a less congested side of the zone.
गाड़ी लेके जा रहे हैं क्या लेके जा रहे हैं
With both teams doing that, they realize there's still opportunities to do damage.
बड़ा भाई
Big shots being done by Anas here.